San Francisco is coming back for real. The weather and all, right? Hi, everybody. I'm San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and I'm glad to be here with all of you today here at City Hall. I know we come and we gather for so many different things, but today is an opportunity for us to recognize some unsung heroes in our city. And let me tell you, it has been a very, very challenging 18 months. When the decision to shelter in place was made and we had to communicate to the public, we had a very challenging time. So many people said, well, what are we gonna do? There are people who need to be fed. There are people who don't have a roof over their heads. There are folks who need support. We don't even know what this virus is. How are we gonna get testing? How are we gonna get PPE? How are we gonna protect ourselves? What does all of this mean? It was a very tough time. And not only did San Francisco do an incredible job, the people standing up here with me today, they rolled up their sleeves. They didn't shy away from the work. They stepped up. And they put themselves at risk in order to help other people. And so today we are honoring them, the unsung heroes of the pandemic. Yes, you hear from me all the time. You hear from Dr. Colfax. You saw us as the faces of, the challenges of the pandemic, and a number of our other healthcare experts and people throughout the city. But a lot of folks don't realize when we first were dealing with this pandemic, we embedded an equity team in our response. And part of that was to make sure that we got resources to places that traditionally would be left out had we not made those investments, had we not worked with the people who were a part of the fabric of the community. They were already on the ground doing the work, and when we needed additional help to provide additional resources, they didn't hesitate. They didn't hesitate. And it was tough because there was so much uncertainty. It was tough because in some cases, outbreaks happened, uncertainty, concern about friends and families, but they still showed up every single day with the people that were a part of their teams that were dedicated to doing the work to take care of other people. And the reason why we're here today is because we need the entire city to know what they did. We need the entire city to recognize that they took care of our seniors in Chinatown. They took care of our families in the Bayview Hunters Point. They took care of people in Lakeview and OMI and the Fillmore Western Addition. They represented the entire geographic area of San Francisco in places that are typically neglected, that are not always at the forefront of receiving the resources that this city has available. And that was so important to me, and I could not have done it without them. And so I want to thank them for raising their hands to do testing and setting up makeshift testing sites with food and resources for the community to get people more motivated to get tested. I want to thank them for raising their hand to do vaccines and to get people in the community who had concerns about getting vaccines to go out and to support and educate and answer questions and bring the resources to the people with no questions asked and meet them where they are. I want to thank them for all they did to take food to seniors and to make sure that nobody went hungry. All of these things. That's why San Francisco is so amazing and so special. Because these people represent the heartbeat of our city. They represent what is so amazing and so good about our city. Yes, we have our challenges like any other major city, but we have compassionate people who believe in service, who believe in the very best of other people, and believe in making sure that everyone deserves an opportunity to get resources, to get support, to have a roof over their heads, And whether this pandemic hit or not, they would still be out there doing that work. So today we honor them, and before we call them up individually, which Dr. Colfax will do, I want to bring up Dr. Grant Colfax, who helped lead us through this pandemic. On occasion, I was not very happy with the news that he was reporting to me, because I know what it meant for me to go out there and have to tell members of the public who were going to be upset with me the same way I was upset with him about the decisions that we had to make. But we did it. And we did it in what we saw in San Francisco, one of the lowest death rates in the country, although we're one of the most dense cities in the country. What we saw, or what we continue to see, one of the highest vaccination rates. So say what you want about San Francisco. We're trying to be safe. We're trying to be healthy, and we're trying to live, and we're trying to thrive in this city. And public health is at the forefront of the decisions that we make. And the person who helps us make those decisions and has done a great job during this pandemic is Dr. Grant Colfax.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Mayor Breed, for hosting this event and leading our city. And a heartfelt thank you to our 9 community leaders who are here today. You've all done incredible work, and I think if we think back these last 18 months, this virus came out of nowhere. What was this about? The questions people had, the questions about masking, even being able to get a mask, and then the testing questions that came, and then the vaccine questions. You were there, and I want to thank you so much for everything that you have done. Because of your work, because of our community-based, equity-based approach, we have kept hospitalizations and deaths low. We have reopened the city. Schools are back in session, and we have resumed so many of those activities that make us feel whole again. And it really is because of you. The results show, for instance, with vaccines, our vaccination rates among people of color are among the highest in the nation and lead our vaccination rates in the city. And it's no accident. It's because of your work that vaccines and testing are readily accessible. We have nearly 100 vaccine sites in San Francisco, and San Franciscans are within 10 to 15-minute walk or drive of a site. It's incredible, and that's why we've managed to get 80% of our population that's been eligible vaccinated. And I was just talking to several of you before the event. Needles are going to kids' arms. They're getting the shot. And in fact, we're doing over 1,000 a day, and over 11,000 kids between the ages of 5 to 11 have already received their first shot. Great progress. Now, vaccines are one thing, but I think one of the key things in our response is we've recognized that they're only one thing. They are so important. They are key to getting us out of this pandemic. But there's so many other key issues that are of importance for us to address. The wide-ranging emotional, social, and physical well-being of ourselves, of our families, of our community. You all saw this early on. We had conversations. You led the department in our response, from providing diapers, food, masks, digital support, families struggling with remote learning. This was not just about DPH. This was about the whole city, the many city departments, and the community coming together to help with education, helping people understand and abide by our health orders, helping seniors get to medical and other appointments, bringing vaccines to the homebound, and reaching our most vulnerable who are unhoused. We have so much to be proud of, and we have a lot of challenges ahead. But I am confident, we are confident that we will meet them together. Thank you for your dedication and partnership with the city. Let's keep it going, and let's get our boosters. All right, so we are now going to recognize our vaccine heroes, theros, and I will read the name of the recipient, and the mayor will present, correct? Okay. Augie Angel from Bayview Hunters Point Advocates, Bayview. We're doing a photograph with each one and then a group, correct?
wasn't even, I didn't even know I was supposed to speak, but I'm, I'm humbly honored to receive this award, just representing the folks in Baby Hunters Point. I mean, just through the pandemic, it has been such a life lesson learning and just an experience, just because I experienced it, got COVID myself. So that was just, a eye-opener for me. Just definitely one of those things is like, I'm in the community trying to get these wraparound services for the folks, but when it came down to me, I'm like, now what do I do? It's like that life experience in hesitancy, I know that experience of what folks and residents are experiencing, so I feel you. Like, I know how it feels to be, if you lose someone, feel in the community, not feeling to get those proper resources. But I do want to say thank you those who are making the effort in getting the vaccine and doing your part. If you're not even doing your, if you're not thinking about getting the vaccine, at least try to find different approaches, holistic approaches to maintain yourself safe and healthy and the rest of the community. And thank you all for this awesome experience and award.
This is the next one. Okay. So our next honoree is Father Moses Agudo of the Mission Parishes. And Father Moises organized the faith-based community to set up vaccine clinics and help conduct online masses during shelter-in-place to help people stay connected. Thank you. Do we get the
Actually, I'm not prepared anything. When I used to prepare something, it's about talk 3 hours, 4 hours, but that cannot happen. So I just want to say thank you to the mayor and the people that are working with the vaccine. I think it's important for us here in the city of San Francisco, as much as possible, receive this vaccine and collaborate and be responsible. And I think that the leader religious with the city, we can work together in the benefit of the people.
Our next honoree is Annie Chung from Self Help for the Elderly. During a time when our seniors were struggling to get access to resources like food and medication, Annie and her team stepped up to help and to get them vaccinated. Annie, thank you so much for your work.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Dr. Kovacs. I accept this honor on behalf of our community, but especially from our partners, the All-American Medical Group, who have provided all the community doctors to do all the vaccination for our homebound seniors and the seniors who couldn't come out to get vaccinated. So thank you, Mayor, for all the resources that you give us, as well as all the help that Department of Public Health gave us. Thank you very much.
Next up is Ernest Jones, former board president of the Southwest Community Corporation. It's a birthday too? Today? Oh, yesterday. I'll have your. Ernest led COVID response efforts in the Lakeview and OMI neighborhoods, areas where we needed to set up testing and vaccine clinics for people who could not make it all the way down to Moscone or other sites. Thank you for being an unsung hero.
Just to be really brief and quick, I want to give a shout out and thank you to the COVID Command Center and the leadership of our city. Aaron Jaffria at the time did an amazing job of supporting us. And then beyond that, this was a group effort. This one's for all of Lakeview. The community really came together and they worked together to make sure that everyone is safe, and that was because of the love that everybody has for their community. So thank you for your leadership, and thank you for the award.
Next up is Berta Hernandez with DPH, Department of Public Health. When COVID first hit San Francisco, Berta was with a local nonprofit that helped our Latino immigrant families get access to resources they needed, including technology to help support remote learning. Berta, thank you for being there and everywhere, and thank you for being an unsung hero.
Thank you, everybody. I am very proud of my community. The community I belong was the more hard hit of this pandemic at the beginning. We lost people, many were sick, many had to quarantine, many lost their jobs and didn't have the resources to be quarantined, to be in their houses, to have shelter in place. So it was a big blow. At the same time, I'm so proud of the community because everybody was able to come up together and to look for each other and not let anybody behind. Nobody was without food, without any service, so we were able to survive. So thank you very much. And I'm also so thankful to my new co-workers at DPH. They are amazing force, and I'm so proud to be part of that. Thank you.
All right. Our next honoree is Felicia Thibodeau. Executive Director of the IT Bookman Community Center. I was kind of expecting that response. Felicia has helped get more than 1,000 people vaccinated by referring them to vaccine clinics with a focus on the OMI communities. Felicia, thank you for being an unsung hero.
Thank you to Mayor Breed, Dr. Colfax, the DPH staff, and to the Lakeview OMI Wellness Hub. We rock. That would be ICY, Gwen, Maurice from the OMI NIA, Mary Harris, OMI CPP, the Our Kids First, You First, and the African American Early Childhood Educators. Together, we partner to bring our resources, and I appreciate the team there. They work hard, they bust, they rock. Thank you, everyone.
Next up is Isabella Ventura with Lion Martin Health Services. Isabella has been on the front lines as a primary care provider and helped support our LGBTQI communities, especially our transgender residents, to help get access to COVID resources. Isabella, thank you for your work.
On behalf of Lion Martin, my team at Lion Martin Health Services, I'd like to thank Dr. Colfax and Mayor Breed for your amazing work. Thank you for your dedication to serve and your dedication to provide health, quality health services to our marginalized and underserved population here in San Francisco. And thank you, DPH, for this recognition. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Monica Paz of the San Francisco Community Health Center. In addition to her advocacy work for our trans residents, Monica worked on street outreach medical teams to provide health care to people experiencing homelessness. Monica, thank you for your work.
So I'm so grateful to the city of San Francisco, especially to you, Mayor Breed, and to you, Dr. Colfax, because you guys believed in science. You put that first, and you put like everybody's actual well-being in priority. And I am so grateful for that. Because of that, we were able to go to the streets and like help the underserved populations, the encampments that were left behind, and we were able to actually take this head on. So thank you guys so much, and thank you for this award.
And our final honoree today is Gwendolyn Westbrook from Mother Brown. I think, as so many people know here, Gwendolyn has led efforts in the Bayview Hunters Point to address food insecurity by providing meals and other supplies to families, seniors, and people experiencing homelessness during the pandemic. Emblematic of our holistic approach. Gwendolyn, congratulations and thank you.
everybody knows how much I love them, especially the people at United Council. I want to thank everybody who helped me, even the ones I had to chase down to make you get your shots. It's all good. The mayor, she knows how much I love her. I'm her girl. We got a girls group for Mayor London, and we're all so proud of you. This has been a very difficult task, but without the team that we built at United Council, which includes Maestro Curtis and the C-Notes, and everybody knows them, his wonderful children, helping us get the word out, making sure people in the community knew we were out there to get food. He did all that. Him and his wife and their children supported United Council so much, and it's so much love I have for all of them. My staff, you guys are the most remarkable people in San Francisco. You never took a day off. You worked your tails off. We stepped up and we worked as a team. We know the teamwork makes the dream work. And that's what we did in Bayview Hunters Point. Not having any cases of COVID at United Council with as many people we serve is because of you. It's because you guys were diligent to the cause. We knew what we had to do, and I'd be darned if we didn't get it done. I am so proud of all of you. This award is for us, for all of us, not just me, because like I have always told you, I couldn't do it alone. So I'm up here accepting this on behalf of the staff and the community in Bayview Hunters Point. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Dr. Kovacs. Thank you.
Oh. Well, Gwen mentioned Maestro and the C-Notes that are joining us here today. I'm sure you caught them on America's Got Talent. The world famous C-Notes out of the Filmo Western Addition community. I had to tell Shaman, no, not the Bayview, even though we all serve the whole city, but they was born and raised in the Filmo. Y'all just did a JCPenney's commercial? Yes, they're doing great things. So we have all these incredible people. If you see them, just say thank you. We are here to appreciate them and recognize them. We're grateful for their service, and I'll tell you, whether there was a pandemic or not, whether there was an award or not, these are the people that are still on the ground doing the hard work every single day. And so we appreciate them so much and grateful that they came out. And we're here to celebrate and uplift you. And so thank you all so much for being a true blessing to the people of San Francisco.